Uh, is Mr. Deepak Sharma there?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good to see you here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Greetings.
Greetings, sir. So, of course, it's my personal honor to introduce my director to everyone. And trust me, Mr. Ashish Arya, when I was listening to you, I was thinking that you are talking about my school. So thank you, Deepak sir, for trusting all of us. So Mr. Deepak Sharma is a dynamic edupreneur with keen interest in innovative education pedagogies, inculcating best value education in young minds, and using his great sports skills of cricket, table tennis, athletics to motivate them. And for all of you, he's a passionate Harley Davidson biker and he has covered the most difficult trek to Leh Ladakh last year. And we were so proud of him for that. He's also recipient of Avantika Award, DNA Award, and Mewar Entrepreneur Award. And under his leadership, in last year, 2019-20, all our 3 schools made to the national ranking in Education World magazines. Our Central Public School was #1 in Udaipur and #3 in state of Rajasthan. Our Rockwoods International School was #1 in Udaipur and #2 in Rajasthan. Our Rockwoods High School was, of course, again #2 in Udaipur and #10 in Rajasthan. So it was under his leadership. He's the president of Child Welfare Society and the director of Central Public School, Rockwoods High School, and Rockwoods International School. These schools run under the society. He's also the very active member of FICCI Arise. He grew up seeing his mother, Mrs. Alka Sharma, being very passionate for children and education. He also so wanted to follow her footsteps and came into the field of education. So for the audience, the Central Public School, which is our mother school, was established in 1989. So it's more than 31 years. In 2009, he left his highly paid corporate job in Pune and chose to come back to Udaipur and join his mother, our chairperson, Mrs. Alka Sharma. Taking her legacy forward, after almost 2 years, in 2011, Rockwoods High School was founded. Rockwoods got its name from the scenic beauty around and as it comprised of rocks and deep woods. Rockwoods International School was also conceptualized by director Mr. Deepak Sharma, as he was very impressed by Cambridge pedagogy and education. Over to you, Deepak sir. It was an honor to introduce you. So we would like to have your inputs on today's topic, please.
I feel like taking my collars up, ma'am, right now. Thank you for wonderful introduction. Greetings to all. Good evening, everybody. I believe I'm the last speaker today. So I would like to keep my 10 minutes really short. I would not try to speak up because definitely after such wonderful speakers, there is hardly left anything to speak. So I would definitely try that I'll speak on the point, which is school entrepreneurs and school development plans. I would like to restrict myself to this domain. I think COVID-19 and developments have already been covered really well by all of you. And definitely I'm a little nervous because when you have to speak, especially Ashish sir, you've been like an electrifying guy. So I'll just take it up. I'll start off with a very old proverb which says, if you're planning for a year, so rise. If you're planning for a decade, plant trees. And if you're planning for lifetime, educate people. So that's what all of us entrepreneurs do. We've been like really fortunate enough to have this opportunity where we are able to make difference in the lives of so many students, so many people for that matter. It's not only students. At the same, when we're teaching students, at the same time, we are talking about parents also. We are talking about the guardians. We are talking about the whole ecosystem associated with that. So we are really fortunate that God has given us this opportunity to mentor students. And today's topic, which is school entrepreneurs and SDP in the Indian education system, needs a lot of brainstorming. if I talk about around the globe, SDP, which is School Development Program, this is a very old terminology. This is not something which is very new. Um, I'll just, as ma'am has just briefed, I'm a B school graduate and I've been working in corporate. And I'm sure that everybody knows in corporate, everything goes with the timeline. What are you supposed to do in next 1 year? What are you supposed to be doing in next 5 years? And what is your plan after that? And then what is your achievement according to these plans? The first time when I heard this point, which is SDP, we were there in Sweden for a student exchange program. And there, the school where we were a few years back, there was a change in management and they were working on SDPs. So this is how for the first time when I got acquainted to SDPs in the school system, that what was it. And when I saw the planning, I was really impressed. And when I look back in 2009 when I joined my mother over here. So the new school which we were coming up in 2011 Rockwoods, we did a lot of brainstorming during that time. And we have worked on the similar patterns of SDP, which is, first of all, the collection. Why to start up a school? What is the need of a school? And then how to, like, for that, we did a lot of market research. We hired a market research company. There were focus groups, there were group discussion, there was one-on-one interviews with a lot of individuals from the different domains and different walks of the life, where we gathered data that we want to come up with a school. Should we start up with an all-girls school? Should we start up with a boys school or a co-ed school? And what kind of school it should be? What should be the fee structure? For this, we hired a market research company to give us the inputs, because at the end of the day, you have to deliver as per the expectations of the people. And that was a time when I asked that, I want to start up a school, where should I start? And one of my friends who was there into education line, he said, Deepak, just put up a map of India, throw a dart, wherever it hits, you can start a school. And Ashish sir just nailed it really well, that when you start up a school, it's a very big investment. And not only big investment, you need to have a lot of patience. But this patience can only be effective if you have the right planning. Without the right planning, there is no point. If you think that you want to start up, you're going to invest crores of rupees with no basic groundwork done, it's all going to go haywire. It's going to go for a toss. So SDPs becomes a very important part now. And especially in current scenario, if we talk about SDPs plays a very, very crucial role in the school education system. Now, I'll quote something said by M.K. Gandhiji. By education, I mean an all-round drawing out of the best in the child and man body, mind and spirit. A good SDP will be planned keeping up the above principles in mind. Now, if we talk about our country, as a whole, India, it's a huge country. Now, like if we talk about North India, South India, or maybe the extreme eastern states, from every, you say, a central government can prepare some kind of school development programs. Are you going to believe it's going to work out? No, it cannot. Because every state has a different challenges, different demography, and at the same time, different belief systems. Then what's going to work out? The first and most important thing is why an SDP is needed. SDP is needed to enhance the standard of the school. There has to be a particular standard. We are not talking about standardization right now. We are talking about the standards. And those standards are totally correlated to the available resources. So we have to bring up the standards. At the same time, it has to be in a sustainable model. And it has to be based on the fact that schools are the best place and to identify the areas to improvement and implementation of the changes that bring out the best from the students. Am I there?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. And when we are planning it, it has to be divided into regulations, target setting, and powers, all the aspects that are needed for any school. Now, education standards itself, evaluation, performance, review, infrastructure, everything comes under this thing. Now, how to take it up to the students? Now, if we certainly say that we want to plan something for the students, and I'm sure you all are educationists today, in current scenario also, when I said that you have to go online, somebody has 30% attendance, somebody has 50% attendance, somebody has 80% attendance. Why? Because there was a change. And though all the schools have worked very hard, all the teachers were trained, all the teachers have taken inputs to implement these changes, but then also we were not able to get 100% attendance. I'm sure that I could see some 80, 90 participants right now over here. And nobody can claim that I have 100% attendance coming up on regular basis.
Right.
So if we want to implement anything, the first and the foremost thing from where the response should come is from the student and from the teacher. And how does it happen? Again, I would like to quote Ashish sir. Ashish sir just mentioned that it's working as a family, and my teachers are really high spirited, and we work as a closest knit family. Yes, that's true, because that is the only way this can come. So what is that term that you working as a unit family? The term is called feeling of belonging. So if before to implement any kind of SDPs आपने अपने ऑफिस में बना लिए now, the SDPs are ready. Now, how to bring it out to the students? Bringing it out to the students can happen when there is something called a feeling of belongingness in the students. That when students, they imbibe this thing, कि no, my teachers, what they're doing, my school, what is doing, it is for my benefit. Automatically, this would click. So feeling of belongingness is very important. And then secondly, the second most important aspect that comes is for the attitude for gratitude. आपने बच्चे को ये तो बता दिया सब, आपने फीलिंग होनी चाहिए, ये मेरा स्कूल है, and this is how it has to happen. But then also he needs to, or she needs to have a gratitude towards it. And these things can only be taught by us. So when we're planning the SDP is one very important aspect which goes is, first of all, how to ensure that our students are responding in the same manner how we want them to respond. So this becomes very important. Again, I would like to quote one line. I was just going through, and this came up really well. School improvement is not a mystery. Incremental, even dramatic improvement is not only possible, but probable under the right conditions. This is being said by Michael Schumacher. So I'll take it up from here, that which the two points which I mentioned. One was the feeling of belongingness, and the other one was for the attitude of gratitude. Now, what will happen if these two things are done, and how will it affect SDP? So these two things can help us to develop skills that will contribute to the future economic well-being. Now, if I talk about our institutions, we are running 3 institutions right now. Then how are we implementing things over here? So with the students and the teachers, when we are working, first of all, when we train them the basic philosophy of our school. I think the first and the foremost thing which should be very clear down the line to your entire staff, to your entire students body, to the parents body, not only to them, but even to the 4th graders. Your vision should be very clear. And then what is your philosophy? So our philosophy or the way of working of our schools has been divided into 8 principles. I would just call out these 8 principles, and then I'll say that how and what are we expecting out of the students. So we have been divided into the 8 principles on the basis of social development, emotional development, spiritual development, mental development, physical development, language, skills, and habits. So this is our philosophy. But writing, saying, doing, these are all different things. So how it has to be implemented? So there is a full plan. And as I said, that when you're preparing an SDP, you have to be clear. When we were coming up with a new school, SDPs were very different, because there we were just starting the engine. Everything was new. I still remember day one, I was very used to working with the old school, which ma'am introduced, which is around 30 years old now. So we're very, very, very used to of the system that, okay, in the morning, the classrooms would be opened up. There would be some people at the gate. Somebody is taking care of the transportations. The principal would be doing this. vice principal would be here. But in 2011, when we were coming up the new campus, I still remember my day one. We jotted down everything on paper. We had good long meetings. We were very excited. But when we went, uh, there was an error because the system was not in place. The team was absolutely new. Though we communicated, there was repeated meetings which were happening, but to bring the system at place, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen like a flip. It takes time. So things came at place. It took some time and things started falling at place. There were few errors on day one. Though we were running schools since such a long time and that was a new school, nothing should go wrong, but things went wrong. But they came at place also. And they came at place and touchwood, I'm like, whatever we have planned, luckily, what we planned 1 year down the line, the expectations from the students, from the teachers, and obviously from the financial books, we were able to meet that. What we thought of 3 years, instead of 5 years, we made 3 years plan, then 6 years plans, and then 10 years plan. This is how we derived our plan. Luckily, till now, before COVID-19, things were at place. I will not count this year, and because I think that, and this year I was hoping really well. There were like some major changes which we were thinking, but I think all your better plans can fail when the real battle starts, and that's kind of thing which happened with us over here. So we landed up in nowhere. Looking forward, but I think there's a shining line in this also. There were a lot of things, these online classes which we were trying to happen since so many years, finally they fall in place because of that. So there is nothing, I won't say that we have lost 100%. There is definitely a lot of learning out of it.
Absolutely.
Good learning. So I'll again come down to the point. So I was talking about the well-being of the students. So when we talk about SDPs, now what are the SDPs when we have divided everything in this format? Then what to expect from the students? Because school development program is totally dependent upon our students, parents, and teachers as human resource. So we have to plan and we have to develop a lot of modules, so which can be based on the basic skills like literacy, numeracy, ICT. There has to be a lot of activities which are happening. Now, if I talk about why a school is needed, if we are talking about a need of a school, because classrooms runs over there. So I'm sure that online classes are happening. And as the previous speakers mentioned, that they are going on really well. And online classes are not something new. They've been there. There were already paid courses online and there were free courses online, which was given by so many universities across the globe. So why a school is needed? What is the need of a school? The school is not needed only for education. It is not needed only for character building, but there is something else which a child is getting over there. And that is something, the bonding. And if we all have been students in the school, what do we remember from our school days? The chapters, how it was taught, hardly anybody amongst us knows. But what we remember is the time spent in the school. So there are activities. The more activities, what we do with the students in collaboration with the teachers, that is something which students are going to remember for the rest of their lives. So, and at the same time, when you're doing all these things, they would develop qualities like self-confidence, team working. The students need to learn the adaptability, because we are also adapting. We were well planned, well established. Everything was at place. The planning was going correctly, but suddenly there's a situation. So we have to be adaptive in that. Entrepreneurship needs to be taught at school level. This can be done with many ways. We can have, I think again, there's some discussions coming from somewhere.
Mute yourselves. Please mute yourself, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So now entrepreneurial skills among the students, when we talk about it, the first thing is that how to create an entrepreneurialism in the students. They're young, they're not going to earn money, but yes, there are many ways to do it. You can have school fairs, and every school is having fairs at the same time. Um, I remember one activity which was conducted sometime back at the school, where students to learn about entrepreneurial skills, they have put up a movie show. They sold the tickets in the school to the fellow students. They established a canteen, and after that, that money, whatever extra money was raised, they use it for social service, where they have gone, they have provided clothes and books to the underprivileged. So these are the skills which can bring up which can be derived on this format of school development program, because that is happening in sync with the students. And at the same time, when the students are growing a little older, they need to acquire the right knowledge and skills related to actual workplace situations, so that they can choose up the careers. Now, if we talk about learners, the students, they make a positive contribution to the community. This, as I said, that one of the aspects, the principles we are talking about is the social and the emotional development. So if students, they're there in the school, they need to be stable, positive with relationships with others, their social responsibility, refrain from bullying and discrimination, express their views freely, and this can only be motivated by teachers in the classroom. They should not be hesitant that in case if they're saying there's something which can go wrong. So decision making confidence, they should know how to put up their voices, take part and initiate a range of organized activities in the school and community organizations, manage changes in their own lives, such as transition between the key stages. And this can only happen once we are talking to the students. The more and more we are talking to the students, the more we are imparting the school philosophies and the development plans accordingly. And they need to have the knowledge and understanding to become informed citizens. Students also need to adopt healthy lifestyles, such as right eating habits, exercise, yoga, and all these things. So just where, and then most importantly, how to keep the track of the safety and security of the students. Again, one of the most major aspects, and especially which has come like really strongly by the governments also in the past couple of years. So safety and security and all these things. So I believe if overall these things as a whole, if we take up and we are communicating rightly, then this is how we can take up the school development plan in the longer run. I believe it's almost 10 minutes now, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. But
I'll try to finish up in the 10 minutes.
So I have few questions, sir, if you can answer that. So,
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. May I have one? I just want to ask one question.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Can we have question answer session little later, please? Or
okay. Actually, it was related to. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, it was related to Ashish Arya sir and Deepak sir. So I just wanted to discuss one thing only. I really appreciate this point. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Jayant sir for organizing such a knowledgeable session.
Right.
And I am really
thank you, Jatinder ma'am.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the points given by Ashish Arya ji and Deepak Sharma sir. And I would like to discuss one thing that Ashish Arya ji said that he has firm faith in his faculty, right? Means the principals must be given the authority.
Right.
They must have the powers. Only then they can bring the desired outcomes, right? I really agree with this point. And I just want to say one thing, that this point must be understood by all the managements of the schools. Because what happens, that what I feel that the biggest challenge faced by the principals to achieve the given target is this one only, that they are given the post, but they are not given the power, and the authority is assigned sometimes to some other person, which is a great hindrance in, or you can say that the biggest challenge faced by the principals. So in this point, I just wanted to say this thing only.
Jatinder ma'am, thank you very much for putting in the question. I can understand your pain. More,
Yeah,
I can understand your pain as a principal, and
yeah,
you will be really, I think we are really thankful and privileged that all the members, all the owners who are here
yeah,
in this platform. I can guarantee you that all the type of people, they just believe, they trust, the trust and the family is with,
yeah,
because I have been with them been from 4 to 5 years. Sunita
mm-hmm.
Gandhi madam is like a mentor to me. She has been
Yeah,
a long time with me. Then Manushi Raj ma'am, she is a
yeah,
wonderful lady. I know of each and everything about how they respect the principals, how they respect the teachers. They can not say anything. They cannot
yeah,
tolerate anything behind the principals. Whatever they say, when principal is our, they are the captain of the ship. They will do
yeah,
whatever
sir.
they will do. We will not come into decision. So I can
Yes,
understand a pain in the behalf of all the principals who are present here in this fraternity.
yes. After
Yeah,
all, yeah.
I
After all,
can
this is the
understand.
question of the, question of the principal's capability also, and the principals are always having that much capability. They can bring L'Oreal to the school, and they will always try, because this is the question of their repo also.
I can
Absolutely.
understand, man, but we
Yeah,
cannot change the mentality of all the owners all over India.
yeah,
Yeah.
At least this, whatever the owners they are here right now in this platform, at least they can become the role model for other owners or the stakeholders.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
They are only
Abhishek,
just what I think, they are just only money minded, but in that point of view also, they are not assigning that much power to the principal.
So can we
Can
just
I,
move
can
on
I add
further,
Thank,
something
please?
to
thank
Yeah,
this?
you.
paucity of
I can
time.
understand. Yeah,
We can
correct.
Thank
understand,
you.
but
Thank you
let's,
so much, Jen sir.
yeah, yeah,
Thank
sure,
you.
sure.
Thank you. Welcome. I can understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Can I add
Thank
something
you,
to
sir.
this, sir? Jain sir, can I please add something to this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Please.
Yeah, Jatinder ma'am, actually, see what happens is, if we talk from the management point of view, none of the management which I have seen in the past would like to interfere themselves with the basic nitty-gritties of the operations of the school. So, if you talk about like the organization which I am running, even I don't want to do it. Our idea is, what is the vision of the school, how to make sure that the principals are aware about it, and we are just working as a facilitators. If the principals are getting stuck somewhere, this is our job to pull them out of this situation. But uh, at the same time, the vision which is there, vision will be always from the management. So in case
Absolutely.
if a principal comes up with an idea that this is my plan for next 5 years and this is how school is going to turn up after 10 years, with right kind of planning, with facts, I think all the management people are open to listen to this idea and to work hand on hand with the principal. So I think that it's time, as I said, that SDPs are still one of the talks which are happening in India. It is yet to be practiced. If we have everything on black and white and we can take that confidence from the management, I think it will not be a problem to any of the principals anywhere.
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
Deepak sir.
Actually,
So
yeah,
uh,
no doubt,
that is
sir,
why,
no
Deepak
doubt.
sir, we are saying that you are the role model of the IUF.
Yeah,
Sir, it's a
Absolutely.
yeah.
We will
0.001%
take
only
your
over India,
guidance.
sir.
Sir, I
Take
just
your
want to say
guidance.
one thing. Yeah, no doubt, sir. Your point is very right, that the vision comes from the management, and the principle is to just implement the things. But one thing more, I just want to say that maybe you are following the things, but what I have seen, this pathetic condition is there only. So that's why I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted to discuss this point.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you
Thank
so
Okay,
you.
ma'am.
much.
We will
Thank you.
definitely
Thank
talk.
you,
Yeah,
Jatinder ma'am. Absolutely.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Coming back to you, Deepak sir.
Yes, ma'am.
To all the fraternity, I can vouch for Mr. Deepak Sharma, because I have been working with him for past now more than 2 years. And yes, it is a complete family. And I have introduced as a principal when I've said that I want to do this. So they are just the facilitators, and trust me, he's our, man Friday, saving us from the problems. So thank you, Deepak sir, once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
So my questions to you, sir, is that you have been, running these 3 reputed schools of Rajasthan. So what are the core resources that you feel are very, very important? That's number one. And what kind of staffing pattern you think is the best for the schools?
See, ma'am, first of all, the core resources, if we talk about in any education institution, these are the human resources. So when we talk about human resources, I also speak for the students and as well as for the teachers. These are the two most important factors for the school. And we have to ensure that the learning of the student is happening in an effective manner with all the safety and security measures being considered. If we talk about school is not like, in case if we talk about school building is made up of walls. There are students and teachers. But if we talk about the essence of the school, it is the students are the bodies and teachers are the souls. So the working which has to happen has to be very human centric, first of all. And there has to be a lot of counseling and teaching which needs to happen. Counseling at each level. I think today the best leaders would be those leaders who are able to counsel. Education has changed so much. When we were students, I still remember if the principal used to call up our parent, we were very scared, because that was one of them. But if we talk about today's time, when the classrooms are restricted, we talk about Cambridge classes restricted to 25 students. We talk about CBSE classes restricted to 40 students. So what is expected? The role of the teachers have become from teachers to mentors now, and everything which is happening, it's a lot of counseling. We see the fee issues coming up. The fee issues, whichever webinars I've attended so far, we've been hearing about fee issues which are happening across the nation now.
Yes.
Which are the successful schools which bailed out of the situation? The schools which were able to counsel the parents, where they were able, where they had this opportunity, where they were having dialogues with the parents and they were trying to make them understand. We as a school, we had this thing. There were so many parents who called up and they said that we don't mind, even though Rajasthan state government has said not to collect fee for next 3 months, practically, which is very difficult. But then there are a lot of parents who have proactively approached us and they said that we would like to deposit the fees if the fee office is open, and we have allowed that. So I think the most important resources are the human resources. And the second part of your question was about staffing, I think, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Staffing.
Staffing.
Right staffing practices.
So first of all, we as in management, we have to be very clear about that we are not overstaffing ourselves or understaffing. Optimum utilization of the human resources are very, very important. We need to have, ऐसा नहीं है कि this resource is an English teacher and we can get social science and social studies can be taught by her, because उसमें क्या है? No, you need to have the right resources for the right subject or for the right place. And then the optimum utilization of the teachers. If the teacher is supposed to take 5 to 6 periods in a day, let's restrict it to that. Let's not make it 7 to 8 periods, because then the efficiency of the teacher would come down. Whenever you're recruiting a new teacher, the induction program becomes most important. Don't let teachers go to your classrooms without being prepared. Tell them about the school. Tell them about, like, now the digital boards are everywhere, but all the teachers are not well acquainted with that. Give them the right training. It becomes very embarrassing when a teacher is going to a classroom and one of the students come up and say, this is how a digital board will be used. So before a teacher goes to a classroom, equip him or her with all kind of information what is needed. अब ये तो idealistic situation हो गई. होता क्या है? That teacher has left, the new recruitment has happened. उन्होंने अपने स्कूल से नोटिस दिया हुआ है, जिस दिन स्कूल चालू हो गया उस दिन they are joining. Now we want to send, we are in a hurry. Let's send the teachers to the classroom. But I think we need to have patience for a couple of days. Equip that person really well. Tell them the philosophy of the school. Take them for the round of the school. Teach them about the digital boards if you have digital boards. The right planning has to happen. Tell the subject in charges, HODs or the headmisters and headmasters to go through the copies, sample copies really well. And then send the teacher to the classroom, that the teacher is not making fool of himself or herself in the classroom on the day one. So this is how staffing has to be taken care of, I believe.
Thank you so much, Deepak sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. for listening and
Thank
having
you.
patience. I still think the number is intact. The number is not gone.
No,
Thank you, Deepak sir. Lots of
Thank
thanks, sir. You came to really, there was wonderful session.